Like our jobs recovery from the pandemic is stalling a bit. In the city, there was no seasonally adjusted employment increase in July.
Nationally, the number of new unemployment claims edged up just a few thousand from the previous week, and July's city unemployment rate went down only because more people left the labor force. Yet, we are told there are thousands of job openings that cannot be filled. So, what's going on here?
So here to help us make sense of this is Julia Pollak. She's the chief economist for the online job and recruitment site ZipRecruiter. So Julia, thank you so much for being here.
Good morning.
A lot of people know about ZipRecruiter. A lot of people know about ZipRecruiter. What's going on here? Are there really so many jobs, or they're just not enough and people aren't looking in the right places? Kind of lay it out for us.
So there are 8.7 million unemployed Americans right now. That's 3 million more than before the pandemic. And guess what? You're right. There are about twice as many active online job postings as there are unemployed people across the country right now. And that's partly because entire industries need to restaff. Take school bus drivers, for example. Half of them lost their jobs in the pandemic, and companies have had to, and the school districts have had to try to hire them all back in August, and they haven't succeeded. It's very, very, very difficult to ramp up an industry and totally rehire in a short period of time.
So we're still trying to get to the root of the problem here. Is it a shift in thinking that people just don't want to do what they used to do, or is it that they're getting enough money on unemployment and subsidies by the government that it pays to stay home instead of going to get a job?
So I think it's two things. One, during a pandemic, work becomes less attractive. It's less safe. It's less convenient. People have childcare burdens. It's harder to use public transit. Of course, used cars are really expensive. Ubers are really expensive right now. So it's less convenient. It's less safe. It's less pleasant. And at the same time, the alternatives to work have become more attractive and more tolerable because we have given so much support to the economy. And it's not just in the form of unemployment benefits, but people have received stimulus checks, child care tax credits. And so their bank balances are much larger and they have a financial cushion and they can wait it out a little bit.
Yeah, we've heard from a number of people over the last couple of months who have said, well, I've made more on unemployment than I do when I have an actual job here. So what's the solution? Is there an incentive or incentivizing people to head back to work? What are the jobs that are not being filled?
Sure, so the hardest jobs to fill right now are jobs where employers require you to be on site. And that's partly because we've seen the biggest shift in the organization of work in our lifetimes, and that is the shift to remote work. And with so many more remote opportunities opening up in tech, in finance, in insurance, and in fields like that, in business and professional services, people who flip burgers and drive cars are saying, wait a second, maybe I can switch industries and find a job there. So that's another huge part of this issue, that traditional employers are struggling not only against government benefits and the fact that their jobs have become less pleasant, but also against this huge shift towards remote work, which has been possible in some industries, but not in others.
And maybe the lockdown has given people that time that I can't go anywhere and do anything. I might as well study up and make this pivot. The time is now to do it if you're going to do it at any point in life. Any sense, though, we ran through some numbers earlier on, but any sense for how bad the problem is in New York and New Jersey?
Yes, so while nationwide there are twice as many job postings online active right now, open as unemployed people, in New Jersey and New York it's actually not the case. There's exactly one opening per unemployed person in New York and New Jersey. Only one job posting online for one unemployed person. And so, there, of course, it's much more difficult to slot all those unemployed people into all of those jobs. It's kind of like a puzzle. And so it might be much more difficult in those states, which were so hard hit in the pandemic, for people to find a good fit, a good match.
So what are employers doing? What are you seeing with those who sign up with ZipRecruiter, right? Are there, not to repeat the question here, but are there incentives, or are you seeing more negotiating going on at the table where an employee might say, well, give me a signing bonus, give me something, because I'm going to take a job that's been sitting there for quite some time?
We saw employers pull out all the stops. So the share of jobs offering signing bonuses went up tenfold over the last few months. Employers are also reducing requirements. So we've seen about 100% increase in the share of jobs saying no prior experience needed. We've seen the number of jobs saying that a bachelor's degree or 5 or 10 years of experience is required cut in half. So employers are doing two things. They are, one, raising wages and offering bonuses and all kinds of incentives, and two, reducing requirements to expand their talent pools. And that's why we've seen a huge growth in teenage employment at a time when older workers and prime age adults are kind of sitting things out.
Yeah. All right, Julia Pollak, thanks so much for breaking it down for us. Chief recruiter, chief economist, I should say, for ZipRecruiter. Thanks for being here.
Good talking to you.
Thank you.
That's interesting information, though.
Oh, yeah,
right?
especially the
signing
teenage thing.
bonuses, higher salaries, more ability to work from home.
Yeah, go
Sounds
in.
pretty good.